We're here in UCD today, and we've gathered together actors from across the construction ecosystem, and we're asking everybody to imagine how we get to 2050 at a point where we decarbonise our construction ecosystem. What do we have to do to get there? What does it look like? What changes do we have to make? And very importantly, how does that influence how we change our architectural curriculum?
With industrialization and industrial production of buildings, everything has become more and more complex. Between now and 2050, we have to somehow have a complete change of mindset, to going back to simpler and more robust ways of constructing buildings.
We need to start looking at how we can build less. We need to look at how we can design with materials that already exist, and also, build within a circular economy, looking at design for adaptability, design for deconstruction, and reducing resource extraction in general.
We need to be able to bring everyone up to a certain level of understanding so they can then report what they're doing, and it's about kind of getting the message across to people in a way that relates directly to their part of the industry and how they can have an impact.
Collaboration is key to success because we need to work together to understand how each perspective defines value.
We all have different values as to how we might get somewhere, or what a zero carbon future might be. So quite frankly, I believe that changes in regulation and changes in the law are in fact our best tool in this respect.
For me, one of the big things is the acknowledgement of embodied carbon. So I think if that can be enshrined in building regulations, that would change everything. That would be a game changer.
Focusing on materials is really important because that's where all of the ecological impacts happen. Everything else is really a design strategy to use those materials more efficiently, more effectively and more thoughtfully. And that's something that all architects and people who work in construction need to be able to do.
I think in Ireland it's a culture change to demand a different type of architecture.
To create the transformation that we need by 2050, we need to digitise the industry such that we have workflows which are a continuous golden thread of data.
Working in a multidisciplinary, collaborative environment requires leadership, it requires vision, and it requires creative communication. Architects are uniquely placed to be able to lead on this conversation.
They need to be part researcher, part kind of investigator. They need to be generalists rather than just experts in just design.
Perhaps the nuances to less see themselves as the leaders of a singular vision, but more the people who help gather and bring forward vision, which is shared equally amongst a number of partners in the development and the construction and in the project.
I really think it's really important to create a sense of agency for students within architecture school, literally focusing on their core values.
It needs to look at the aesthetics and what we consider beautiful. It's really, really important to be always changing and innovating and questioning.
Because we are dealing with a climate crisis, we have to also perhaps make a paradigm shift in how we evaluate good design.
I think there's a major change of mindset from a kind of modernist way of thinking about the building as being something that's isolated from the environment to really thinking about it something that works with the natural environment.
It's called climate literacy. How can I not specify new stuff all the time? How can I rework the previously made to support our sort of ambition to be net zero by 2050?
Yes, there are significant challenges, but already we have incredibly bright and articulate and energetic people who are rising to meet those challenges. So what we need to do is to think about how we can take all of that energy and activity and integrate it more closely into our architectural education.